Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio.
This video is sponsored by Spellcrow. Today we experiment with a different method. It's dry brushing and then we do glazing of transparent paints. The painting kinda worked and it produced this. We talked about underpainting last video but we used a different color. Today we're using Hexed Lichen. You could also use Chalice Red, but I wanted the video to be more accessible, meaning people have more access to the paint because the Nocturna set is hard to get. Also, since I want the video or the painting method to be more accessible to more people, we did not use the airbrush for today and just dry brush the underpainting. Dry brushing is a very undervalued technique, but I've said this before, it's the king of all techniques. I think it's kind of possible that painting masters kind of frown upon dry brushing because it's so easy to do, but I don't really care because it does the job well. Another reason why we chose to do dry brushing as underpainting because Spellcrow miniatures are hand-painted or handcrafted miniatures and then they molded it. So they have this very unique look or very unique appearance and details because it's hand-painted. The details and the crevices are so deep and dry brushing will bring out all the nice details. We push our experiment further here by dry brushing sunny skin tone, a very light flesh skin tone instead of the usual grays or white. So the Hexed Lichen and the sunny skin tone is giving us a very warm underpainting which is perfect for our monster Dinyak. I'm not sure what a Dinyak is. I guess it's a live or monster pumpkin. Now we do glazing, but this time instead of inks or paints, we use transparent paints. Transparent model color paints are less harsh than inks. Also, they have the consistency of normal paint, so they work really well with the glaze medium. Just don't add too much medium. I mix around 3, even 6 parts paint to 1 part medium because the transparent paints are transparent already, so we don't really need to add more transparency. I just like adding glaze medium because it softens the paint, meaning you won't produce really harsh or really ugly watermarks. Also, the glaze medium kinda delays the drying time of the paints a little bit, so you don't really have to rush your painting and blend the edges of your painting because you won't really produce harsh watermarks. To be honest, I think you could use the transparent paints directly on the model, but I'm not brave enough to do that because I like building up transparent colors when I'm glazing. Make sure to let dry in between coats. I applied around 2 coats so that I create a very solid color. This time we're using clear orange, which is more orange than transparent orange. Like I said, you don't really need the glaze medium because you're working with transparent paints already. That is if you're brave enough and you're good at blending the edges, because not using the glaze medium will make the paint dry faster and you might produce really nasty edges. The only problem that I see with using transparent paints is you have to mix a lot because the palette is a bit limited, which is nice if you're into mixing your custom paints, but they're kind of limited because I think there's only 6 or 8 colors. But much like the inks, well, not as saturated as the inks, the transparent paints can cover the model in 2 to 3 thin coats even with the glaze medium. Just do not do the 1:1 ratio in terms of mixing the transparent paints, because if you mix 1 part transparent paint and 1 part medium, it'll take you a week to paint this model. So again, I highly recommend the 3 parts to even 6 parts transparent paints to 1 part glaze medium. Notice in the video right now, I have like a little pool of pure transparent red. I'm using it for the wounds of this arachniac, and also I'm using it around some edges of the details of the model. So we're almost done because the method we used here are so easy. The dry brushing of the underpainting and then the glazing with not so transparent paints, meaning we just added a bit of glaze medium. We're almost done. I think I spent around a little more than an hour, but not 2 hours. I eventually used the Chalice Red and like thinned it down into wash consistency, because I really like it as a wash. I like it to bring out the shadows and the details of the model. After the lazy wash or the filtering of the Chalice Red, we did some detailing with or highlighting with colors, and then I also did touch-ups of the transparent paints and eventually finished up with like the scenery, the Vallejo scenery tufts. I also added a Spellcrow skull at the side as like a reference of the scale of this monster. That's it. I hope the video showed you that playing with different colors of underpainting is great, and also dry brushing is the king of all techniques.
That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos!